Texas A&M quarterback Connor Weigman may have the perfect skill set to really maximize new offensive coordinator Klein's offensive system here this year in 2024. And I want to take a few minutes and talk about why and what those skills are, and then we have a few clips of film from the Miami game that I want to showcase. Right, it's probably the only game that Weigman played this year, besides the game he got hurt in. But it's probably the only game he played this year where it was against an opponent that anyone wants to see film from. Right, so there's a few clips from Miami that kind of demonstrate what we think Weigman does well and why he can maximize Klein's offensive system. And we put out a video like a day or two ago kind of discussing a bit more detail about the combination of the two, of Weigman and offensive coordinator Klein. But here's going to be like a video breakdown kind of demonstrating what we talked about. And if this is your first time tuning into the channel, thank you. We're just a big quarterback hub. We talk all things quarterbacks, from film breakdowns like this to just quarterback topics in general. We also have a podcast where we have current and former quarterbacks come on and talk shop. So if you like that type of stuff, please subscribe. It really does help, and I don't do a very good job pushing it and trying to get people to subscribe. So try and change that. So like, share, all that stuff. But with that said, let's talk Connor Weigman real quick, and we'll get into the film of the game against Miami. There's about 4 or 5 clips that I'm going to watch. But we talked about in the last video why I think he can maximize Klein's offensive system. And it's just because his ceiling's so high. And people that I talk to and people who follow A&M, people who are way smarter than me and when it comes to evaluating quarterbacks, when it comes to football in general, are really high on Weigman. So if they're high on him, I'm high on him as well, right? So if he hits how these people think and say he's going to hit, A&M could have a pretty good year. We talked about their schedule, last video. We talked about A&M's schedule, and it's obviously not easy by any means, but compared to other SEC schedules, it's on the relatively easier side. So there's a pathway to have a good season. But with that said, let's talk Connor Weigman. The areas that I think can really maximize offense, Klein's offense, is a few things. But one is his natural arm strength and talent. And I don't just mean by the ability to push the ball downfield or to throw it deep. I mean the ability to fit the balls in tight windows, the ability to move within the pocket, which we're going to see, and still deliver a strike, still deliver a tough throw. Those type of throws that maybe weren't maximized at Kansas State potentially, that they didn't push the ball downfield all that much, but you have that ability to do that with the Weigman, right? So you have the ability to maneuver in the pocket, push the ball downfield, but showcase his strong arm. Number 2, I think Weigman probably has an underrated ability to read defenses. Now, he hasn't played all that much. 2022, handful of games. 2023, handful of games. But one thing about Jimbo's offense, and I get it, and I agree that it was handcuffing him in a way, even though last year, Pacino's calm plays, we all know like Jimbo had an influence on that. But I think it did allow him to take information in and process it quickly, Connor Weigman, because there's a lot of stuff Jimbo asks his quarterbacks to do. So there's some clips here where it shows Weigman doing a good job reading the defense, getting the ball out quick. And then number 3, kind of the last thing, his ability as a runner, his athleticism. Now, I don't think you're going to center him running the football to be like the center of your offense, but having that in your back pocket where teams know he can run, that's a threat. Having him in your back pocket where you're not going to call a ton of quarterback runs per se, but you saw how much Kansas State relied on the quarterback run last year with Johnson, even Walker Howard some. So I think you could see glimpses of that where it keeps the defense honest, or maybe they have to keep a guy that has their eye toward Weigman that can open up some stuff, right? So while he's never going to be someone that's going to burn a corner to the edge, I still think his legs can be a threat, right? So to wrap it up, it's his ability to push the ball downfield, his arm strength, not just throwing deep balls, but the ability to throw from within the pocket, pressure in the face. Number 2 is ability to process information and process defenses. And then number 3, his athletic ability as a runner, right? So with that said, let's watch some film. We got 3, 4, maybe 5 clips. I can't remember, but we got 4 or 5 clips of the game against Miami. So we'll go ahead and break down some of this film.
Ball is dropped, but it's actually one of my favorite throws from Weigman in this game. I think it's a great example of showing his ability to fit the ball into tight spaces and tight windows. Also a really good read there, and the really tight coverage that ball was thrown into. And it was dropped, but still a really good throw, right? And his back foot slipped, if you don't notice. So let's go ahead and watch this in a little more detail. We'll see here. Boom, only 4 comes. Back foot slips. This is where the ball is supposed to be going. That's exactly where the ball goes. It's a really good read, but still pretty good coverage, right? There's not a lot of space there. Ball is thrown where only the receiver can catch it. Again, you don't have a lot of room for error. It's thrown on the line. This ends up being dropped. It is kind of a tough catch. We'll defend the receiver a little bit, but a really good throw. I think a good example of Weigman Arm strength, yeah, but good anticipation, throw balls out quick here, just showcasing his ability to fit the ball into any window with pressure in his face. I really think like these type of throws here can really maximize Klein's offense. So actually, this clip here is probably my favorite clip. I know it says the last one, but I love this one. It shows his arm strength. It shows his ability to move in the pocket and take a hit. Watch this. Boom. That's a tough throw. Pretty good coverage there as well, even though there was some room. But again, it was his arm strength here to deliver that ball from a suboptimal position, let's call it, when throwing. So we'll watch here. Miami does blitz. This is where the throwing lane is. You have some underneath here, and then you have over top safety here. This is where the ball should be going. We'll see that he's able to step up in the pocket, avoid this this D end here. He takes a hit. Ball's coming out now. It's a long throw. That's 20 plus yards on a line across the field. It's up maybe pushing more like 30-ish, right? Boom. Good throw there. Good read in the pocket, and then the ability to move in the pocket. Probably my favorite throw of the game here. We'll watch it from this angle. Makes a miss. Gets back up. Takes a shot right there, and then hits his receiver exactly where he needs to be with enough juice on the ball before that safety comes up to tackle him. Really, really good throw and play all around. So again, just having a quarterback that can make plays like this for Klein's offense is going to be huge. And again, can you just do it consistently over and over and over again? If these type of plays become the norm for Weigman, he could be one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC for sure. Let's go ahead and watch a few more clips, and then we'll call it a video. We got a nice quick read from Weigman. We got some pre-snap motion. He sees that it's man-to-man, gets the ball out quick. Not even a blitz there, even though there's pressure. They only sent 3, I believe, but gets the ball out quick. So I know we've talked about Jimbo's offense probably not putting Weigman in the best position to succeed. But one thing, even though this is Petrino per se, but one thing I think Jimbo's offense probably benefited Weigman was the ability to process information quickly, because it's so complex. You got to get the ball out quick. It's a lot to read. So we see you get in motion. It's a great kind of strategy pre-snap to see if they're in zone or man. You see they're in man as you have a traveling DB here. And then the linebacker who's supposed to go out here kind of has his eyes watching Weigman and kind of gets blocked by the receiver here. Weigman sees that right now. Ball comes out, nice, quick, gets the ball out in space, and there's pressure on him too, and able to have a big play right there, right? 25-ish, 30 yards, something like that. We'll watch it from this angle here, but again, just a good example of processing information. You see that's man coverage. You see the backer's kind of peeking, right? So it's pre-snap. It looks like the backer's coming, right? And then we see, okay, it's man coverage. Boom. Backer should go out with that running back. Does not. Stuck. Ball's out quick. And then the rest, the back out of the backfield takes care of. So good job, good example there. I know it's an easy play from the outside looking in, but I think it bodes well in Klein's offense here coming up. Another good read here by Weigman. There were several from this game, but this is the last kind of read clip that we'll show. Just a little like kind of stick, little stick concept, right? Where you have a little stick route or comeback route, and you have a swing route coming out here. Pretty simple read, but the simple reads tend to be why quarterbacks do really well, right? He sees backer coming out here, off coverage. This is the throwing lane, something that he's able to tell right from the drop of the bat. Boom, creates that throwing lane. Ball's already coming out now before the receiver turns around. So good anticipation throw. Looks like an easy read from when we break it down like that, and it is. But during the point of the game, things are moving a lot faster. Just a good example of Weigman's ability to read the defense. Again, something we talked about. Jimbo's offense maybe weighed him down, but there are probably some more benefits than maybe we realize. And processing information quickly, maybe one of those. We'll watch maybe one more clip talking about what Weigman brings to the table and why he can maximize this offense, and we'll wrap this video up. All right, last clip we'll watch here. It's kind of grainy footage. I apologize for internet issues, but I think this is a great example of showing Weigman's ability as a runner. Now, unless you're an A&M fan or you follow recruiting really well, you probably don't realize that Weigman's a pretty good athlete. He can hurt you with his legs, right? He's never going to be someone that's going to outrun a corner to the edge, essentially, but he's someone that can hurt you with his legs, and something that Klein did a lot in his offense with Howard and Johnson at Kansas State was utilize the quarterback's ability to run. So now I don't think it's going to be like centered around Weigman running the ball. I think you could have a feature of him using his legs, or at least being a threat. Like this, even though this was a scramble, I think you can have that ability, just knowing a defense, knowing he can do that, can put a defender out of position. But you can also, have some design around the Wigman here and there to use strategically. So just another example of kind of what he brings to the table with Klein's offense here.
All right, no, just a few clips, and it's just from one game. But I thought it was the most applicable game to break down. Right, the arm strength, the ability to move in the pocket, and then deliver the ball. His ability as a runner, the underrated quality, and then the ability to read defenses and process information. There's other qualities as well, but we just wanted to demonstrate a few and talk about kind of do a follow up video from the video we put out a few days ago, talking about the combination of Wigman and offensive coordinator Klein. So with that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Weigman? What are your thoughts on just the offense in general? A&M fan, non A&M fan, whatever. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And again, please subscribe, share, like, all that YouTube stuff. It really does help us and trying to do a better job pushing it. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.